Morning or good afternoon or good evening, my friends. Assalamualaikum. Peace be with everybody. We are here today on our second episode. And ang kasama po natin ngayon, he's a neurokinetic therapy level 1 instructor. He is a strong first level 1 coach. And he is connected with the rehab and performance coach. He's a rehab and performance coach at Physio RX Clinic in New Zealand. Yan. So meron po tayo dito taga ibang bansa. Ladies and gentlemen, he's a father, a husband, he's a son, he's a brother. He is one of my coaches, ladies and gentlemen, Chris Baldia.
Okay, salamat Jong for this wonderful opportunity. Okay, yes. So we'll just carry on with yung mga gusto mong tanungin. Yes. And I'll just answer it as best as I can. My answers won't be perfect.
Yes.
May mga answers na baka di ko masagot. If there's any questions na hindi ko masagot, I'll do my best para malaman ano yung sagot doon.
Yes.
If not, I'll refer it to someone else who knows to answer it better.
Ladies and gentlemen, one of the signs of a very good coach is yung sinabi ni Coach Chris. People would think na being a coach, or maraming coaches na magsasabi na, for example, you're looking for a coach and you ask them and they would blatantly say or arrogantly say, oh, alam ko yan, fat loss, ganito lang yan, huwag ka lang mag-rise. Gusto mo magpalaki, magbuhat, kumain ka lang ng 12 eggs a day and pump ka lang. I mean, there are coaches who are like that, and there are also coaches who are really transparent and say, these are the things that I know, these are the things that I do not know. If you're gonna ask me with the things that I know, of course I'm gonna say it. If I don't know it, I would say I don't know. I'll try to find out or ask somebody else to answer it for you. Okay, because being a coach, we are the lives of our clients are in our hands. That's why this is not a joke. This is not a game. This is actually a very risky job. So, Coach Chris, ladies and gentlemen, si Coach Chris kasi he is our rehab guy. In our group, pag may tinatanong kaming rehab, si Coach Chris kasi yung pinupuntahan namin. Coach Chris, back then in the 80s and 90s, hindi pa man natin pag rehab, ano yan, sa hospital lang yan.
Yeah,
pero ngayon,
that's the first thing that comes into the mind. Yeah.
Ngayon, bakit meron ng rehab sa gym? And at the same time, there is PREHAB. Coach, can you please discuss what's a rehab and what is a PREHAB?
Okay, sige. So let's just define the terms first. So yes. Rehab is something, just to make it simple, the injury has already happened, you have hurt yourself. This is your starting point on how you can get back stronger so you can perform your daily life better compared to how you first injured yourself. That's the rehab, right? PREHAB is something that you would do to be, how do you say this one? To be a bit more proactive para malesen yung chance mo of injuring yourself. Or even if you injure yourself, the chance of you recovering would be quicker and stronger as compared if you haven't done the PREHAB work. So PREHAB, easier way to say is preparation.
Okay.
It's either preparation, yes.
So Coach, rehab, meron po ba kami ngayon nakikita sa Instagram na medyo sumisikat ng rehab or PREHAB routines? Kasi kadalasan pag we're looking pag sa Instagram, pag isa-search mo fitness, it's either you're going to see half-naked people with their abs, doing bicep curls or doing squats. Meron po ba, is there a, baka some of the clients still do not know what a rehab and PREHAB is. Is there a popular rehab or PREHAB movement that's been naging globalized na?
I think they might not label themselves as rehab and PREHAB, but some of the good sources that I can recommend is Squat University. It's a very your viewers can so nasa TikTok siya, nasa Instagram siya. He's a very well-known guy sa social media. there are some things na okay talaga siya when it comes to, because kasi ang specialty niya si, I think Dr. Mike, Mike ang pangalan. Ay, sorry, not Mike. Aaron. Dr. Aaron ang pangalan. He's a physical therapist, he's an Olympic weightlifter. So main market niya is CrossFit clients and power lifters, Olympic weightlifters. And the way he shows his videos is very simple, and magigets mo bakit ito yung ginawa niya approach. Because rehab and prehab is always case-to-case basis on that person. Kung sino yung nasa harap mo, of who the client is in front of you, that's where your prehab and rehab would start. Generally, if you would have a shotgun approach or scattershot approach na lahat ma-cover mo, one of the best sources would be original strength. Because it covers movements from the eyes, from the neck, down to the toes. Hands down, they're the best when it comes to having a general approach. But
the simplest.
Yeah, simplest. Yes, kaya nga sabi niya, tawag sa OS is the simplest movement restoration system there is in the planet, which is I highly agree. It's very accurate of how simply they teach it. But if you want to go into more specifics, kung bakit ito yung gagawin nating exercise for the hips, kung bakit ito gagawin specific exercise for the shoulder, ano yung pre-diagnosis na pwede natin gawin para malaman natin if this is the right one. Si Squat University, he's a good one when it comes to it. Another good channel is E3 Rehab. Nasa YouTube din sila. They are a group of 3 physical therapists na I think they also do a lot of resistance training, Olympic weightlifting, powerlift, and gym exercise. The one best thing that they're doing among everyone else is they review a lot of researches, evidence-based approach.
So parang nerd yung arrive. Yung tipong may papel.
Nerd yung yeah, they read the better, they would show the lifting part of it. That's why the good thing about it, it's never boring. Kapag may video sila. Yeah. Kasi papakita nila, this is what the research is saying, this is the exercises that they're saying. Ito yung pwede mong gawin. And actually, it's one of the fun ways to learn anatomy. The way that they teach it. Kasi anatomy, magiging honest ako, it's one of the most boring subjects there is. Depende yun kung sino nagtuturo. Pag nagtuturo, they're quite fun, interactive, and relatable. Mas digestible ang content.
One of my deficiencies din kasi, and I'm very transparent with everybody. One of my deficiencies is that hindi kasi ako, paano ba to? Hindi ako kasing intellectual ng mga sisters ko and ng father ko and mother. I'm not the book guy. Bibigyan mo ako ng libro pa, aaralin ko. Nako, I'm dead. And with what Coach Chris is saying is that good naman talaga yung intention sa mga tao may libro because it's meant for the medical professionals. Pero like what we are doing, we would like to simplify the knowledge, the education, the wisdom. We would like to simplify it and we would like to share it with others. Kasi sa totoo lang, for example, pag sasabihin namin na kumbaga parang you have to keep your glenohumeral joint healthy for the overhead press so that you'll be able, mabubore ka. Pero we'll try to make it like your shoulder, right? We have to keep it very healthy by doing blah 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 blah. So you keep on doing this and doing that. It's the delivery. And again, that's the one of the intentions of this channel is for us to simplify the most important things so it's very digestible for everybody. Ayun. And Coach Chris, may tanong po ako, nabanggit nyo rin po, Coach kayo. Sa system po na yan, yung mga sinasabi po ninyo, pwede po ba na yan lang ang gagawin ko, pero I'm still going to lose weight? Ano po, do you have clients who come up to you and say, I wanna lose weight? And yet, nabanggit nyo po kasi, Coach Chris, and dun sa credentials nyo po kanina, wala po kasing nakasulat doon na, kumbaga parang, power lifter level 3 or so with your system that you're doing, you're the prehab rehab guy, can we still come up to you and say, Coach, I want to lose weight? What would be your approach?
Losing weight might become a byproduct. Hindi siya yung main focus. Kasi isipin natin, your body is limited to what it can do.
Okay.
I will rephrase that one. Your body is limited to its current abilities.
Yes.
If your hip, if your shoulder are injured, then some exercises might not be the best one for you yet. Therefore, there's only certain exercise that you can do.
Okay.
As much as you can. And as long as your body is exerting effort, it uses energy. If you use energy, you're going to burn calories. But they might not be the most, if your goal is weight loss, they might not be the most inefficient work.
Okay.
Na pwede mo gawin. Kasi if you're talking about weight loss, you want movement inefficiency para mas mag-use na energy ang body mo to burn more calories.
Move weight inefficiently so that your body will use more calories. Is that what you said, Coach? Use more
energy.
Okay.
Therefore, it should spend calories.
Coach,
diba?
paano itong mga inefficient, move weight inefficiently? What does that mean?
Anything that is new to the system. So there's no specific exercise. Anything new. Kaya example nito, if you have a sedentary person, between the age of 30, sedentary person, no exercise history, no background, age 30, sabihin natin, ang bracket niya nasa 30 to 40 kasi once you hit the age of 30, doon na nag-uumpisa mag-decrease ang metabolism ng tao. They start to lose muscle mass faster. And the body starts to become more fragile if they don't do the proper amount of looking after. Experience ko yan. 2 years ago, my personal experience, I can hear my knees cracking doing squats. Nagka-crack siya. Pag mag-squat ako, kala ng mga katrabaho ko, it is my shorts, it is my shirt that's sounding, but it's actually my knees. And my body hates lunges a lot. So I can squat, double front squats, I can do press, I can do swings, no problem. When it comes to lunges, I'm very weak. But now, 2 years later, which is I'm 2 years older compared to how it was 2 years ago, I can do lunges all day.
Because of the system that you're doing right now.
The system that I experimented to myself and it worked.
Okay.
Naging okay siya.
So to the people who are listening, maybe this is very new to you. Kasi, Coach, sa totoo lang, if you Google fat loss, burpee ang lalabas.
Good point.
Diba?
Burpee is an...
Yes, Coach.
Or burpee or 100 reps of any exercise.
Yes. What can you say about that? I'm still new with fitness,
burpees,
and a lot of people are listening.
So burpees is one of those. It's an inefficient movement because you need to go up and down. It's like you need to do a squat, you need to do a push up. So your body is like we need to use this amount of energy, calories over and over again. Okay. It's gonna help you burn fat, but you're gonna weigh the benefit to risk ratio.
Okay, what does that mean, Coach?
Okay.
Weigh the benefit to risk.
Benefit to risk ratio. So to make things simple, if you're going to do a burpee, your wrist would always be on this position.
Okay.
Because you're going to go up and down.
Okay.
If your body is carrying X number of weight beyond what your weight should be, imagine the impact that the wrist has.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So by the time you do 10 reps, you might be able to escape with it. Once you hit 30, 40, 50 reps, the weaker joints would start to complain. It's going to start saying you, okay, we need to take a break. We're not feeling great. If you don't stop moving, we're going to ask another muscle, another joint to carry over. Magko-compensate. If we're talking about people doing this one with their ages 18, 19, 20, they can escape from it. Sasakit ng katawan nila. Next day, they can do the same thing.
Yes.
Okay. Once you hit the age of 30 beyond, this is a different story.
True.
Yeah, I have a client. He's a CrossFitter. He can back squat 150 kgs easy, 180 kgs easy.
For reps?
For reps, heavy reps.
Heavy reps,
CrossFit CrossFit.
Yeah.
Olympic weightlifting. Get him to do a single 1 rep of lunge. Hindi niya kaya.
Bakit?
Body weight. Knees are giving out.
Wait, nabanggit niyo po lunges. Ladies and gentlemen, lunges is yung hindi ko ma-demo. Lunges is when you do the
one leg forward, one leg back.
Okay. Coach, anong
So,
bumibigay? Is it the leg forward?
Knee
forward or the knee at the back? Anong bumibigay?
For his case, both.
Yeah.
Both. Kumbaga,
ilang taon?
In order to make things simple, he's just young, 32, 31.
Okay.
Yeah, and he whenever he comes to the clinic, he says it's like feeling that he has the knees of a 50-year-old. Okay, and then he had a scan. Then ang lumabas is meron siyang minor case of osteoarthritis.
Nadurog yung kanyang tuhod, yung joint. Ano nangyari?
Overload of the movements.
Long story short,
nasobrahan. Yeah. And yeah, the body gives out. Pag sumuko ang katawan, it's either you yourself would voluntarily take a break and think about the things that you're doing, or the body would force you to take a break. It's either one of the two.
I would just like to mention, and maybe this person is listening. Of course, hindi ko po siya in-name that just to respect this person. He is a fitness trainer na kilala ko rin, and he used to do bodybuilding. And to those who are not familiar with bodybuilding, and I might get a lot of heat from this, I might get bashed. Pero if you really know an actual bodybuilder who goes on stage, right? You nagko-compete, they will tell you that is not a healthy sport.
Yeah.
Okay. This friend that I know, sabi niya, back squat, if I'm not mistaken, back squat 800 and 1,000 yung 1,000 ang kanyang leg press. Let's say crazy numbers. I can still distinctly remember how he said it. Air Max niya pumutok. Kasi nag-Air Max siya when he was doing Air Max, the shoe.
Yung Nike? Nike shoe, yeah.
Pumutok. So, ready na siya. Rip cuts, lahat okay na. 3 days before the event, mag-stage na sila. Pag akit na hagdanan, right knee or left knee, boom! Bumagsak. Oh my God, aray, sakit tayo. Tumingi ng tulong, kailangan tumayo. Nung tinulungan na siya, yung isang tuhod na maya, pagtapak niya, boom! Bumagsak din. So, they didn't know what happened. Pumunta ng doktor, and meron siyang bone spurs. And the doctor said exactly what you said, Coach Chris. Kung gusto mo pang mapagpatuloy kung ano mo yung ginagawa mo, if you still wanna live your life, tigil mo na yan. It's either itigil mo na yan or we go into surgery and hindi ka makakapaglakad for a couple of months. So, pili ka. Ngayon, if I'm not mistaken, until now may bone spurs pa rin siya. He cannot squat. He can only do lunges naman. Siguro baka nasobrahan siya sa lunges or squat or whatever. Hindi na, when we did our training, I was with him in a training. Coach, if you're, kung nakikinig po kayo, I'm just relaying information. I'm not bashing anyone. He only did lunges. Sinabi naman niya, he was very open naman with all of his injuries. Now, I'm just piggybacking on what you're saying, Coach, na pag nasobrahan, bibigay talaga yung katawan. Pero Coach Chris, may problema ako. Gusto ko po kasi maging kasing galing ni Rich Froning o di kaya ni Matthew Fraser. Ano po masasabi ninyo?
I think because me personally, I don't do CrossFit. I do have a lot of clients who does CrossFit, and by the way that it sounds, they're also competing athletes, some of them. By the way it sounds, CrossFit gives out a set of exercises that everyone should be doing on their workout of the days.
Yes.
Or what they call WODs. So regardless of your body imbalances, regardless of your training background, you're asked to do these exercises. Okay. So it doesn't care if you have an injury, you have a back injury, you still need to do this exercise. You can do it scaled. Instead of using barbell back squats, you can do goblet squats or you can do air squats. But the thing is, it is very generalized. It is not a specific set of movements that your body might need. If you look onto the top CrossFit athletes, they might have a background before even they started CrossFit, that there is either good in Olympic weightlifting or in powerlifting. Or in other words, they have a solid foundation of the big lifts that CrossFit does very often.
Okay. We just want to clarify
But,
to the
yeah.
people who are listening. Me and Coach Chris, we are not CrossFitters. We
Mm.
are basically, we're nerds. We are fitness nerds, and we like to analyze things. And with all due respect to all CrossFitters, I would just like to explain what Coach Chris is saying, that you have to have a background. The person, yung dalawang tao na binanggit ko kanina, si Rich Froning and si Matthew Fraser. Let's go with Rich Froning. Rich Froning first. He is a four-time fittest man on earth, and he used to play softball and a lot of sports. If I'm not mistaken, just PM me, just comment down below kung mali ako. And he used to be a firefighter, I think. So, and yung documentary niya, sinabi talaga ng father niya that Chris Froning is always active. May farm sila. He works on the farm. Basically, gumagalaw talaga yung katawan niya. Now, si Matthew Fraser naman, if I'm not mistaken, he's part of the US weightlifting team, Olympic weightlifting, the actual Olympic team for weightlifting. And yun din. Ang dami niya rin, may background din siya with other sports. And piggybacking on what Coach Chris has said is, meron na silang background before they went into CrossFit. And Coach Chris, are you saying that if I'm a couch potato, it's hard for me to emulate what they're doing?
It's not impossible, but it would take some strategy. Put it that way. You might not reach what they currently are in the time frame that you have. But with a specific strategy, specific plan, patience, consistency, hindi imposible yun. But it would take a lot of dedication. And we'd also think of compromise. Dan John, on one of his podcasts, mentioned the word compromise. And he says, I agree to what he was saying there, na everything in life is a compromise.
Yes, agree.
Okay, so if your goal is to become as good as Matt Fraser, Rich Froning, there are certain aspects of your life that you might need to give up.
Yeah.
As simple as that. Instead of you being a couch potato, or instead of you sitting all day long to a job, even though your job, let's say you're working in front of a computer as an IT person, you might need to be more active rather than just going back and forth to the water station. You might need to walk or to run or to cycle going to and from work.
Okay.
So that your body would be conditioned in being able to produce more physically demanding tasks. So that once you do the workouts, that what CrossFit or whatever exercise modality that is, your body is more prepared because it has already been resilient. Because if you would think of Matt Fraser and Rich Froning's history, since by the sounds of it, when they were young, they're already active. They keep on moving. They lift heavy stuff because that's their life. As a firefighter, that's his livelihood. As a person who works in the farm, that's their livelihood. Diba? And if you're a couch potato wanting to get fit as ripped as Rich Froning, there will be aspects of life that you need to compromise, or sometimes you might need to give up. And the question is, will you be willing to give up those comforts that you have? Would you? Diba? Diba? Hindi. So it doesn't mean to say na hindi ka maging ka-fit na rin, hindi mo magiging kakatawan sila. You might not have the same body as them.
Or
but
performance.
what you might or performance, but what you might have achieved is far way better off rather than you just choosing to have a sedentary life.
Coach, kasi nape-pressure ako kasi dun sa box namin, ang sabi daw kasi dapat kailangan ito yung gawin. Ano po yung masasabi niyo sa mga tao? Or can you advise these people? Okay, we're not just referring to CrossFitters. Because if you're in a gym culture, there's always going to be a pressure that they're doing it. I should be doing it as well because it's very embarrassing. So what can you say to those people who are being pressured that even though nobody's telling them to do it, Sometimes nobody's telling them. It just so happened that they're doing it. I should be doing it too. Or sometimes they have this peer pressure or the pressure of the coach. There are coaches who would motivate you by saying, "Look at them. They were here, just like last week, and you've been here for the past 6 months, and you cannot do what they're doing." What are your advices to the people who are being pressured into doing things that they know that they cannot do?
I think just ask themselves, who are they doing it for? Diba? Are they doing it for bragging rights? Are they doing it just to satisfy their urge to be recognized? Or are they doing it so that they would have a fitter body that can get them to be a better mother, better father, better brother for their family? Or a better employee to their work because they can be more functional, be useful as an employee if their body is fit.
Actually,
diba?
Ang ganda po talaga ng pagkasabi niyo, and the way you said it, it's basically how I would want to say it. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the things that I have realized, and this is what actually Coach Chris is saying, is that bakit yung ba ito ginagawa? Why are you when you went to Coach Chris or you went to Gym John, you said gusto ko pong I just want to lose weight. Actually, a very good coach would ask you, why do you want to do it? Sometimes it's hard for a client to say, because sometimes it's embarrassing to say that I just want to get my confidence back. Actually, that's it. Most of the time, that's it. I just want to get my confidence back. But it's hard for a person, even for me. It's hard for me to say that, I don't feel really well. I feel kind of insecure, and I would want to break that boundary. But we just say, no, I just want to lose this, and I just want to lose this. And we would, and if you're gonna tell us, even though we ask you like why, and you just say no, I just want to lose it, then we, the clients, the coaches, we would be saying that, okay, then let's do a fat loss program. And sometimes we would have a disconnect with the client because their number one problem is not actually their weight, but their emotional status, their feeling. Sometimes even you haven't reached that amount of weight that being lost by the client, but you made that client feel good. Sometimes you would see a client, you know what, coach, I really don't mind about the weight because I feel good right now. And just and she just didn't want to say it, or he doesn't want to say it in the beginning. The problem is the feeling inside, not the actual weight. Because you know what, guys, not every, I'm gonna tell this on record, not every person with a six-pack, may it be a boy or a girl, is having fun with their lives. Meaning, hindi lahat ng tao na may magandang katawan ay masaya sa buhay nila. Tama, Coach Chris, di ba?
Yeah.
You could
so the body doesn't define the life satisfaction or happiness of a person. Marami dyan magaganda katawan, nag-suicide. Di ba? Marami dyan, magaganda katawan, they will feel depressed.
What we're trying to say is that you could look the best. Ladies and gentlemen, you could look the best and yet you'd still feel depressed. We're talking to the people who thinks that if you have a size 0 or if you're below 60 kilos, then your life would be happier. Most of the time, honestly, I'm gonna ask Coach Chris. Coach Chris, when were you happiest? When you were on a diet or you were not on a diet? When were you the happiest?
When I'm not on a diet, because I'm not restricted.
Yes.
But it doesn't mean that I just eat whatever I want. So for my case, let's say present time, I eat what can fuel me for the day. I eat what I know that's going to be good for me functionally, that I can wake up first thing in the morning, I can sleep on a certain time at night that I know that I have done the best I can on doing the chores, doing my work, or looking after my daughter, looking after my wife.
And so, for example, listeners, when it comes to eating, like what Coach Chris is saying, you know what, Coach, it's hard to really impart that type of thinking, that food as a fuel. There are people, Coach, who eats because it makes them feel good. Yun yung mentality nila. I eat because I want to feel good. Ano pong masasabi niyo dun, Coach?
Okay, so good question yan. So I eat because I feel good. Lahat naman tayo, if we want to eat, siyempre gusto natin enjoy yung kinakain natin. But the question is, will that feel good have a carry over to you in a good way or in a bad way the next day? Is that something that you would regret or something that you would thank yourself for because of that decision you made? Example, from my experience, one of the reasons why I don't eat lunch. So personally, I don't eat lunch. I use my lunchtime to do my workout.
Mm-hmm.
If ever I'm going to have something at lunch, it's either coffee or boiled eggs or just protein powder. Because from my past experience, could be something with my blood or how my hormones, so the chemicals on my body react. Whenever I have carbohydrates for lunch, I feel sleepy 1 or 2 hours later.
Ever since when?
While at work.
When did you have that feeling? Younger? High school? College?
No, it was only let's say 5 years ago.
Anong condition?
Yeah, something during my mid-20s. I don't know, maybe the choice of my food on a lunchtime. If it's a high carb kind of food, then I crash.
Sleepy.
But if I eat, if my food choice would be salad, meat, or nothing with carbs, I'm fueled up. So there's something with carbs na ginagawa sa akin ng carbs kapag lunchtime that I do have a certain crash.
Crash. That was lunchtime. I have a
only happens during lunchtime.
I'm actually trying to analyze, and I just realized that happens to me if I drink instant coffee exactly at 10:30 in the morning or 11. An hour later, I'm not sleepy, I'm asleep. I actually had a very bad experience once or twice. I was going to lunch, so work and then going to lunch. I'm driving my car. I actually closed my eyes twice. Actually,
yeah.
I mean, matutulog na talaga ako, pero I was behind the wheel. Matutulog na talaga ako. Instant coffee. Pwede ko naman siguro sabihin yung yung coffee. Coffee ko brown. Yes. Kasi I of course, office person, when you're bored, when you're doing your work and then you need extra energy, coffee has a lot of sugar. Oh no, sorry. Instant coffee has a lot of sugar, especially coffee ko brown, because it's saying that it uses brown sugar or something like that. And then sleep. I'm asleep, and I need to load up again with food in order for me to wake up. Sometimes I'm walking towards the house. I would like to sleep. Gusto ko nang matulog. As in, matutulog na talaga ako habang naglalakad. I think, ko siguro basta pogi, siguro Coach Chris, no, baka ganun talaga yung problema.
Pwede.
Kung sino pa dyan mga pogi, baka ganun din yung experience.
Or makarelate kayo.
Yan. Anyway.
So, getting back to what you're saying is think of the carryover effect nung kakainin nyo. Because there's a lot of foods na it would make you feel good. Kasi at first, masarap siya. But you should be ready to face the consequences with it. It's like every decision you make. Every decision you make will have consequences. It's either just good consequences or bad consequences. Something that will benefit you, something that won't benefit you. Same thing with food, diba? So ganun lang yan. If it's something that you enjoy, if you're ready to face the consequences of it, yeah, go for it. Enjoy it. Enjoy as well the consequences of it.
Actually, I was when I was in college, I had that epiphany. Parang na-realize ko something like that. That first of all, everything that happens in your life is your responsibility. Most of it. Siguro yung bagyo, hindi mo yung kasalanan. Pero nung lumabas ka sa bagyo at nabasa ka ng ulan, it's your responsibility. You're the one who did it. So when I was younger, now that I'm older, yung realization ko is, yun na nga, nabanggit niyo rin, Coach, na pipili ka. I'm gonna do I'm gonna do the podcast now and eat later, or I'm gonna stop the podcast now and eat now. So I'm choosing to do the podcast. So I'm gonna eat later. Number one. I need to do my workout. I need to do my workout. But I am a father. I am a husband. I have my responsibilities. I'm a coach. I'm an office worker. These are really important things that I want to happen in my life. And my personal training would be moved around kasi may priority tayo eh. Hindi naman natin pwede sabihin when let's say your child is looking for you, kailangan mag-change ng diapers. You don't tell them, I have 2 more sets left. We don't do that, right? And the choice is because why? Because I want to be a father. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna pause my timer. Kasi I'm gonna do that. Now, masisira na ba yung program? I don't know. It could be. Pero wala namang mawawala kung hindi mo nagawa exactly the same yung program. Pero, for me, I believe, mas risky pag nire-risk ko na hindi papalitan yung diaper ng anak ko. Kasi pwede siya magka-UTI. So, pause mo na yan. Ito muna. Right? Di ba, Coach? Yung po ba yung sinasabi niya that everything is a risk?
It's all about, with the benefits, with the consequences. Gonna compromise one thing to serve the other thing in a better way. Tulad niya nasabi mo, the diaper change. Something like that. Kung ano ba yung priority mo? If your priority is more of your workout rather than looking after your child, then better check your headspace. Di ba? Maging prangka na ako sa ganun. But it is true. So, if you're a responsible mother or father, hindi na dapat kine-question yun. Di ba?
If that's what you want to happen with your life. Kasi, di ba? If that's where you want to go,
Yeah. Ayaw mo naman na makilala ka na anak mo na this, you are, or let's say for my case, that I'm a father, that other things are more important, such as his workout rather than me. Yun ang hindi ko gusto marinig galing sa anak ko. But at the same time, I would also want to hear from my daughter that my dad can carry me any day. My dad can piggyback me. He can get down to the ground, play. Yeah. That's why, so para sa akin, pag ipili ka rin ng exercises, kinakain, it will benefit them in a way. Let's say for me, nung nalaman ko na 2 years ago yung knees ko nagka-crack, gagano, naisip ko, what will happen if these knees are still not functioning well once I have a child? Paano ako makakaluhod sa ground? Diba? I might be able to front squat heavy weights, but my child won't care if I can front squat heavy weights. She would care if I can pick her up from the ground.
Hindi mo matter kahit 1,000 pa yung pina-front squat. It really wouldn't matter. It really wouldn't.
That's why those changes that I made in the 2 years were, in my opinion, are some of the best, how would I say this one, training perspective that I shifted my mindset onto. So one thing na iisipin din is iwasan natin maging emotionally attached to a certain exercise or to a certain regime.
Or a certain system training. Or any ideals. Any idea. Yeah.
Any idea kasi the moment that we become emotionally attached onto that one, are the decisions that we'll be making won't be rational, or it will be very, very subjective rather than very objective.
Actually, ito matagal ko na ito iniisip. And most people would ask, babalik na tayo sa sinasabi ni Coach regarding check your headspace, workout for your kid. Ladies and gentlemen, we're trying to be real here. We're not here to please everybody. Sabi nga I don't know if you've heard this, you really cannot please everyone, but you can only be yourself. And this is me and Sir Chris, na would rather be the best father and be a okay lang coaches, di ba? Kaysa we'll be the number 1 coach in the world rather than sasabihin ng mga anak namin, sino ba yun? Tatay ko? Hindi naman nakikita yun eh. No, that's not us. That's not us. We can we can throw away the coaching out of the window, but we cannot throw away the family man out of the window. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you're asking, now Coach Chris, he also does kettlebell, He also does barbell. He also does all the movement and mobility work. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're going to ask, what is the best workout that the best workout? Coach Chris, so yun yung point question na, pero sasagot ko muna ako. Alam ko po, similar yung sagot nyo, pero you have a different approach. Most coaches would say the best workout is the best workout that you can do. Yeah. Some people would say the best workout is the workout that I am following right now. Which is hindi naman yun totoo, kasi sabi nga ni Coach Chris kanina, you are bound with what your body can do. Okay, a good coach will not force you into doing any movement na hindi kaya ng katawan mo. So, yung una, not really. Yung pangalawa, definitely hindi rin yun. And the best workout, for me, I believe, workout training is the one that you can fit into your system. What does that mean? Sorry. The best workout system is the one that you can fit into your life. For example, me and Coach Chris, we want to be a husband. We want to be a father, a brother. Priority namin ito. So, hindi kami yung type of people na every day can go out of the house for 2 hours to work out. Me time namin 2 hours every day. Coach Chris, hindi kaya, di ba?
Hindi.
Diba?
Para sa akin, I do my workouts 45 minutes stops, including warm-up and cool down.
Hindi na pwede 46. 46 too much na yun, di ba? Okay. Now, hindi namin kayang gawin yun. Nabanggit na ni Coach Chris, si Coach Chris every day, 45 minutes lang. The rest of the day, other responsibilities. Ako very similar, 30 minutes to 45 minutes every day, including Saturdays and Sundays. Kasi ito yung pananaw namin we're family men. Now, let's say you are a college student. You say, let's sleep 6 hours a day. You study, let's say, go to school 6 hours a day. And you really don't do your homework. Sige, you do your homework 2 hours a day. So that's 6 and 6, that's 12, 14. You have 10 hours of free time. Let's say, 5 hours you eat, you do whatever, you with your parents, you still have 5 hours left. Now, with that type of person, you can go to the gym 2 hours a day. You can do a trail run 3 times a week for 4 hours because it can fit you. So what I'm trying to say is that I'm not gonna tell you to do kettlebells. I'm not gonna try to tell you to do reset. I'm not gonna force this onto you. But what will fit the life that you would want to live? There are people, they really cannot give any time within the weekdays, but their whole Sunday is free. That's why they are weekend cyclists or weekend runners, trail runners, because that's the only time that they can do their workouts. But the rest of the days of the week, they cannot. Now again, what is the best workout? Is the one that you can fit in the life that you would want to live. Coach Chris, ano pong sa tingin niyo? What's the best workout? If a client would ask you, what's the best workout?
I think generally, yun, kung ano yung sinabi mo, what they can fit in their life. Yun, plain and simple. Pero, if they would ask, carry on.
Yes. No. Yes, sorry po.
So yung sinabi mo, I definitely agree on that 100%, what you can fit it in your time. If they would ask a bit more specific with exercise-wise, best workout, my main recommendation is anything that would help them strengthen this movement of being able to raise their arm.
Okay.
Since as you get older, the ability to be able to raise your arm would be... There's a lot of people that I've met, clients, family, friends, who's even raising their arm is such a hard task for them to do. That's why while you still can strengthen that overhead position, it's up to you if you want to do pressing, if you want to do pulling, as long as you strengthen that one, if you want to do crawling. And another one would be anything that would allow your hips and knees to bend and strengthen on those positions. Yun lang. So marami ka na exercise maisip dyan. Diba?
Uulitin ko nga ito mamaya, hindi ko nasulat. Uulitin ko ito mamaya. Tapos you can basically make an actual training program just with what Coach Chris has said. Sige, Coach Chris, madalian na lang ko, no? Regarding po dun sa rehab, prehab, babalik po tayo dun sa kanina. Hindi po kasi siya sexy, Coach Chris eh. I mean, it's not Instagrammable. Ano po yung mga masasabi po natin sa mga tao who would only want an Instagrammable workout? Or they still have this idea that my workout your training system should look cool. Ano po masasabi natin?
What I would suggest is hanap sila ng app na photo editor, Photoshop or something. Kidding aside. So joke lang. So, yun, babalik ako dun sa tanong ko, who are you doing it for? Kasi if I might not be the right coach kung ego ang pag-uusapan. Kung if I might not be the best person to ask for kung gusto nila na sagot na what would be the best way for my body to be Instagrammable, because that's not my line of work. I don't coach influencers, or influencers wannabe. It's not my cup of tea.
Okay.
So hindi ko hawak kung gusto nila Instagrammable body, but what I would, my best recommendation for them is ask again to yourself, who are you doing it for? If you're doing it for the gram, sometimes can crash for the whole day, then everyone would just go nuts kasi nawala ang kanilang self-esteem source, which is yung likes, comments ng mga tao online. Medyo mababaw na dahilan yun to work out. If your main driver for working out is just to have a body na Instagrammable, na ilalike na maraming tao, nagsisend that people would flood your DMs because of that one, that's going to be a very, how to say it,
shallow.
Shallow, yeah, that's the right word, very shallow way of thinking that even at this point, I don't know if you'll be able to do this whole workout consistently for 365 days. Diba? If your goal is too shallow, diba?
What I love about
you might just be there for 1-2 weeks. Once the workout gets hard, you might want to ask yourself, is it worth doing it for the gram?
Nakapagod. Wag na lang, iba na lang gagawin. I really like how our conversation went from, from physical into something that is emotional. Actually, that's a very good closing remark. Actually, parang nasara na ni Coach Chris yung conversation namin. Actually, almost time na rin naman kami. Hindi namin in-expect na aabot sa ganun. Pero ladies and gentlemen, ayun na nga. You really ask yourself, why are you doing this training? Why are you doing this program? If you watch this video hanggang ngayon, most probably baka meron kang hinahanap. Meron kang gustong malaman. And we are here to tell you that wherever you are right now, you're good. Okay? And me and Coach Chris, we will get you to a better place to eventually get you to the best version that you can be. Okay? Huwag mo niya po masyadong iisipin yung ibang tao, bakit mas maliit yung braso ng iba kaysa sa'yo, bakit mas maliit yung tiyan ng iba kaysa sa'yo. Alam nyo, you're just going to kill yourself. Kasi people will always look better than you. If you're listening to this right now, I'm gonna tell you, there will always be somebody who's going to look better than you, younger than you, stronger than you, faster than you. Me, Coach Chris, we would like to tell you that you're doing this for what? If you're doing this for yourself, to improve yourself, to become a better person, or it will make you a better employee, a better father, a better brother, a better public servant, whatever, then we are here for you. Actually, ang galing nga, astig nga ni Sir Chris, sinabi na niya that he's not training somebody who's an influencer or who would want, basically, aesthetics, hindi si Sir Chris yun, hindi si Coach Chris yun. Okay? And he's nodding. Ibig sabihin, totoo yun. And again, we are real people. We are not here to please others, but we are here to be real and we are here to help. Okay? Any last words, Coach Chris? Kasi time
so last words, para tapusin lang natin yung tinanong mo example kanina, what if there's a 30 to 40-year-old na sedentary person wants to get active?
Yan.
Maybe for the reasons na maging attractable ang katawan nila to the opposite sex. Tumaas ang self-esteem nila para maging confident lang nila dala ng katawan, which is a very valid reason for them to work out. I would suggest to them, hire a coach. Pinay-importante yan.
Totoo yan.
Hire a coach. Never may mga tao na they consider themselves as self-taught. And sometimes it works. But most of the time, it's very hard to make it work. So I maybe just ask someone who was that background, who is credible, who you can be open to with regards to being clear on your goals, who has a knowledge of exercise, and who can assess what your body can currently do and recommend you something that you can do consistently. And as to what Jonga said earlier on what you can fit it in your life, how you can fit it in, and how you can make it a commitment rather than just saying that I'll try to find that time to do it. Instead, make the time to do it. Diba?
Sure fail yun kung gano'n. Kung yung, sige lang, tignan ko na kung may oras. Sure fail yan. Unahan ka na kita. Kung yun yung idea mo na, sige, I'll find time to do it now, that's a sure fail. Sure fail yan. Thank you very much, Coach Chris. If you'd like to contact him, nasa Instagram si Coach Chris Baldia, nandiyan po yung kanyang pangalan. Facebook is also there. TikTok, Coach Chris, meron po ba kayong TikTok?
Actually, yung TikTok, hindi ko makatapos yung buong profile ko doon. Ginagawa ko lang TikTok as a video editor app ko lang siya, pero...
Okay, so Instagram lang and Facebook. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to thank Coach Chris Baldia for being our second guest in our program. Hopefully may mga natutunan po kayo. And I hope we're gonna see you soon. And I hope, kung for example, nasa New Zealand kayo, go to where Coach Chris is, and he's going to be a very, very, very big help for you guys. Coach Chris, thank you. Bye.
Yeah, and Jong, if ever some of your viewers might find this beneficial, we can do another series like this, but to make it more interactive to them, we can make it like a YouTube live.
Sure.
If that works. Para question and answers back to back. If they have any, if that's something that can benefit you, benefit them, then I'm more than happy to do it.
Yes, of course. Kasi most probably, that's going to be for free. And that's going to be of value that we're going to give to you guys. So, comment nyo lang or PM nyo lang kung gusto ninyo, and then we're going to go to that. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Sige. Thank you, Coach Jong.